All right, welcome everybody. My name is Ben Fredericks. I am with Apex Assistance, and I am excited to be here with you today, talking with you about taking back your time and automating your business. Look, if you're anything like me as a business owner, you are burning the candle at both ends. Some days it feels like. And today we're going to be talking about how you can free up from that employee mentality of being inside of your business. So let's get into it. A little bit about me. Again, my name is Ben Fredericks. That's my beautiful wife and daughter. I am an entrepreneur, and mostly my businesses are related to real estate, but I love growing businesses. It's one of my favorite things to do. I've done very, very well as a real estate investor. I've bought and sold hundreds of properties all over the country, buying real estate in bulk from banks and auction. I've created notes and own over 50 rentals and several Airbnb properties. Real estate is a game, and it is a fun game. But real estate really inspired me to get into what I'm going to be sharing with you today. I'm also the owner of Noteworthy Publishing, which is a note investing education and networking business, and also the CEO of Apex Assistance. So what I'm going to be covering today is really simple. I'm going to be talking with you about efficiency. Efficiency is simply proven systems and processes. That's it. That's how you get very, very efficient in your business. If you have proven systems and processes, systems scale, processes scale. So having all of these things gives you the ability to really work on your business instead of in your business. And so today I'm going to be giving you exact systems that we use in our business. Now keep in mind, you might be a doctor, you might be running a real estate office as a realtor, a CPA, or another kind of professional. This also applies. So there will be some real estate jargon in this, but just know that you need to be thinking, how does this apply to my business? How can I use this in my business? Now, when I first got into real estate investing, I was like Paul McCartney, working 8 days a week, right? So I was working anytime I could keep my eyes open. And eventually you simply begin to feel like this, right? You are, despite all your rage, you're just a rat in a cage. And there's not much you can do to get out of it until you begin to sort of divorce yourself from the tasks that are keeping you stuck, running your business on a day-to-day basis. Fortunately for me, I had a great motivator to get out of this as soon as possible. My baby girl was very young at the time, and I didn't want to miss out on stuff, and I was beginning to do that. And because I was working on the weekends, when I came home, I was attached to my phone, I was attached to the computer, and I was still doing work and filing reports and looking at financial statements and accounting and all these other things, right, that weren't even really related to buying and selling real estate. It was just all the extra stuff. And so the question then becomes is, how do we break this trap of being an employee to our business? And it came down to me for an exercise. I heard this on a podcast, and it really opened up the door for me in terms of thinking, okay, how can I begin to really free myself up? Do I need to be doing all of these things? Quite frankly, I was going through a bit of a trip where I'm thinking, okay, I do these things, nobody does them better, and I can't let them go, right? And that's a process. I'm not going to tell you that happens overnight. It does take some time. But the beautiful thing is that once you set up the systems and processes, you can easily begin to just check on what you need done and then realize it's getting done, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. All right. So, but to get into it, my exercise was to write out everything that I was doing for 1 week. I mean, everything from the moment I got up till the moment I went to bed. I wrote down everything that was in my day. All right. Then I begin to think, all right, what is the average income in the US? It's about 60 grand a year. But as a real estate investor, I had targets of my own, right? Well, the average real estate investor income is about 100 to 150,000 a year, or $50 to $75 per hour. So I started looking at all of those tasks. Which of the tasks in my day were worth that $50 to $75 per hour? Which ones were not? This helps you identify the ones that you should be using your time on. For me, the tasks that were worth my $50 to $75 per hour were negotiating deals, were closing deals. Those were the things that made me money. So almost everything else on my list, I could find someone else to do those things for me. So on your list, if you do this exercise and you write these things out, you have to identify which of the things that you must continue doing. Like, I can't stop doing these things because this is what drives my business. This is what actually makes me money. 2, which of those tasks can you delegate? And 3, which of those tasks should you remove completely? Let's think about that for a second, because sometimes we do things that we don't need to be doing. Could be surfing Facebook, scrolling Instagram, watching YouTube videos, watching Netflix, whatever. All right, so think of those things as well that you need to completely divorce yourself from doing, or just maybe have a more dedicated time to doing those things. Next, what I did was I began to screen capture those tasks that I could delegate. So ultimately, what I would do is I would just create one process a day and create a training video. Why would I do that? Well, if I create a training video, I can give that to an assistant, and I can give them a library of training videos for all the tasks. So I'm doing this so that if an assistant has a question, I can go to them and say, did you watch the YouTube video on this yet? If they said, well, gee, Ben, no, because we don't have one, I know we have to create one. All right. And then I can obviously answer that question, but it gives a structure, knowing that there's a system already in place for this. Go review it, and it should show you everything that you need to know. If you still have a question after that, then maybe I need to update the content of that particular video. And by the way, you can host all of this for free on YouTube. So what this exercise resulted in was the hiring of our first virtual assistant, a virtual bookkeeper, and an operations manager. All right. My virtual assistant, she came in, and she's still with me today, 5 years later, and just really opened up my availability to be able to spend more time doing the things that I love, the things that were important to me, but also the things that grew our business. And because of that, I was able to really scale our business and grow it. So when is it time to hire help? Well, I mean, that question is different for everybody. It depends on where you're at inside of your business. Ideally, you should have some created assets, like a website, customer service strategies, sales funnel, lead source and system, and you should have, some discretionary payroll availability, salary to meet those expenses. And you want to have it ready for like the next 90 days, all right, so that you're not putting yourself to the test when it comes to payroll operations. So let's look at in-house versus virtual. Look, I love in-house employees. It's a great way to build culture and all of these things. But in-house employees come with different responsibilities than virtual ones do. There's payroll taxes, Social Security, insurance, overtime, office space, equipment. They're limited to the skill set of the staff, or they got to have additional training. There's the cost of hiring, which is enormous. If you lose an employee, that cost is tremendous. Weekend and evening work can be difficult, and they may waste your time and your money at work. I mean, certainly there's people that waste time scrolling the internet while they're on the clock, right? With virtual employees, I don't have any of that stuff. There's no related taxes, paperwork, insurance, or benefits. I don't have to have extra office space or equipment. Weekend and evening hours can be available. They have an ability to stay on schedule, and it gives me more marketing dollars. That's where my business generates revenue, is through marketing, right? So if I'm using all of that on employees, I can't necessarily bring new business in the door. My business stays a little bit stagnant. So again, this may not relate to your business, but I'm going to give you just a little snapshot of how we utilize virtual assistants inside of our business. And you should be thinking about how you could relate this to your business. All right. So first of all, we use them for admin work, answering our phones, filing paperwork, website maintenance, editing and posting to social media. For auctions, we use them to pull available properties that fit in our buy box, link to the auction, pulling comps, comparable sales, so we know what the value of the property is, tax information, rental prices, and then they help us come up with our formula that we've created, an estimated offer. How many offers do you think I can make if I have all of this work done for me? And I go through and this is where I make my money. How many offers can I make if I have 20 properties already reviewed? The information is right there. I just have to look at the data, get a feel for the property, and make a decision. That is the separator. All right. That's a big deal. With our seller financing, they help us gather applications, submit information to our underwriting, gather underwriting conditions. They prep our files. They post up notes for sale. They communicate with our note buyers on when we sell a property. They're helping us build our buyers list, pulling latest comparable sales and cash buyers, emailing deals out, listing properties on the MLS, generating offers, securing proof of funds, manage property showings, and oversee our closing process. For our notes, again, a lot of the same information, emailing, building list, paperwork, ordering title work, onboarding, and just a lot of other things that take up a lot of time, but need to get done. Now, bookkeeping is a big deal, all right? Our bookkeeper is amazing. He downloads all of our bank statements, manages the income and expenses and QuickBooks, puts it all in there, reviews our business and financial needs, and he assists our CPA as needed when filing taxes. So this is a big deal. This is one where I was, once you start doing 100 real estate transactions a year as an investor, you can't even imagine the amount of paperwork and accounting that needs to be done. Start doing a couple hundred a year and it gets crazy. All right. So this was probably one of my second best hire was getting this done. It also gives me a great opportunity to know where my company is financially. So if you don't have one of these, I would highly recommend it. When we do a lot of direct to seller marketing, which requires pulling a lot of lists and skip tracing and texting and property analysis and negotiations and follow up. So a lot of different direct marketing that can be done as well. And again, I said this before, but start with marketing. No deals, no sales, no business, right? So if you don't have people coming in the door for your business, it's not generating revenue. If you don't have that type of business where, I can't think of an example, but if your business is a service-based business that, let's say it's contracted work or whatever, maybe that's not as important to you, but I'm gonna guess that it is ultimately. This was a marketing assistant that we had. This is an older report, but just to give you an idea, like the communication level, this is why I'm showing this to you, is the communication level, the amount of appointments that are generated. I get a report of the KPIs on a daily basis, knowing, all right, this is how many texts I sent. This is what I did today. Imagine your employees at work giving you a daily report. This is what I accomplished today. How beneficial would that be to your business? All right. So this is just, this gives an idea of what it costs me to generate those leads. All right. So in terms of like the salary I had to pay, and then my marketing expenses. So ultimately I invested less than $2,500 that month to create hundreds of leads for my business. Try doing that on Facebook. It's a little bit difficult because your marketing dollars keep going further and further. They stop going as far as they did when you first started. Now, if you had 126 new leads to call per week, how many would you need to close per month just to pay for that one VA system? For me, it's less than one deal, right? So I need to close less than one deal to pay for my entire VA system and my marketing expense. Your business might be different, but think about that. What is your cost to acquire a customer? All right, so this is more related to real estate, but like how many landlords and subject to deals could you find? How many wraparound notes and deals to wholesale, and how many deals could you partner on? Like if you just had more time, right? And you had more people seeking out these deals. These are just some tools that we use in terms of getting data. So just ways to you can get more data that you can check out here. Again, these are more real estate related deals, but exact data, depending upon what type of business you are running, it may have some information that you could use inside of your business. Now listen, you can do all of this yourself, or you can duplicate my systems and VAs. Our VAs are trained to work in a multitude of areas, a multitude of professions, and essentially, where most people think when we say that they're trained to come in and help, it means that they're trained to help with administrative tasks, right? Ultimately, you are going to have to do some training. There is no way getting around that. We've brought on clients that say, oh, gee, I thought they would know my CRM. I thought they would already know my platform and how to do my website. And it's impossible for every virtual assistant to know everything. We do our best based on knowing what the tools that you have to place them, but ultimately you are going to have to give them some training because there may be different ways that you like to run your system. All right, so expect that you will have to invest some time training your VA on the systems inside of your business. So how much does it cost to place a virtual assistant? Well, a virtual assistant is going to cost about $500 to place them. We give you a 100% satisfaction guarantee that the VA will complete your tasks with accuracy and to your satisfaction, or we'll find you a new one and retrain at no additional cost to you. On an hourly basis, it depends upon the type of task that you're having them do. But if they are just a straight admin assistant, marketing assistant, your cost there is about $7 per hour. So if you are interested and you want to learn more about hiring your own virtual assistant, book a call with us. If you go to our website, apexassistance.com, right there on the home page, you will see an opportunity to book a call with us, have a one-on-one with our team, tell us a little bit more about your business, where it is you need help, and we'll do our best to create a couple of candidates that you can interview and see who would be the best fit culturally with your company and aligns with your core values. All right. So thank you very much for joining us today. Again, book a call with us. It's no obligation. apexassistance.com. Learn more. See how we can help you free up more time so you can do the things that you love to do and also work on your business instead of working in your business. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope we can be a resource to you.